Late 2000s Def Jam.
What's late 2000s Def Jam?
My apparel and shit, like the Jeezy Snowman T-shirt along with the Rockefeller jacket.
Yes. Yo, Jeezy.
I spent like $500 on this jacket at a Jay-Z concert, and it's actually like it's like a Gildan jacket.
You're wearing Jay-Z and Jeezy.
Yeah.
For the whites that don't understand, those are two different people.
Yeah.
Well, Jay-Z and Jeezy. You were brought up on Jeezy and Linkin Park.
What was that like for you, nigger? No.
Actually, no. I guess remember the Jay-Z and Linkin Park collab.
I tell people all the time, I was not a big fan of that. Like, I thought it was okay.
You know
what
the better rock collab was with Jay-Z? The Black Rock. I don't know if you ever heard the Black Keys Jay-Z collab album.
I did not hear that.
It was a lot.
Was it the Black album?
It was later.
Mixed with other shit, or what was it? Like?
It might have been the Black album with a Black Keys album.
Because I know that the Black album had been like remade with a bunch of different artists to just.
It wasn't new Jay-Z. It was like they took Jay-Z and put it on Black Keys. But check it out if you're into that cross vibe.
They have the Black album completely with Ninth Wonder beats instead, which.
Oh, I know that one.
You know that one. That
bro.
December 4th beat is the hardest beat in existence. Like.
Dude, be talking about Mike Dog.
Any man that says they prefer the original, oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Original what?
The December 4th track. December 4th by the Ninth Wonder, the producer.
Is that a rock?
No, December 4th is a song off the Black album. And Ninth Wonder, who's a hip-hop producer, took the Black album and just stripped all the instrumentals and used his instrumentals for it. So it's just basically the Black album through his eyes.
Is the Black album like Jay-Z's most iconic, or would it be Blueprint? Like three?
Blueprint would be his most iconic album.
Blueprint.
Yeah, for sure. Blueprint, but like Black Album to me is my favorite Jay-Z project. I think it's his actual like all like Blueprint's a classic, Reasonable Doubt's a classic, but the Black Album is his best album by far.
Best finished product.
By far. The worst song on that album is Change Clothes.
Yeah.
And Change Clothes was a smash single.
Yeah.
The only thing
I loved it when it first came out, and then I heard the rest of the album, and I was like, this song's actually bad. Why do you put this on there?
I've always been like more of a casual Jay-Z fan. I never really dug deep. I've been more mainstream because when I hear Black Album, for me, I always think of I know you guys don't listen to them, but I always think of Metallica's classic album because one of their main biggest album was the Black Album. You know Enter Sandman?
I fuck with.
You know the song Enter
Metallica?
Sandman?
Yeah,
though?
Enter the
That was
Sandman.
on their Black Album. That was like their big mainstream album.
I've always felt like Metallica was very overrated.
The mainstream Metallica.
So many people dig right Metallica. You know what it is? I think it's Metallica's longevity. They've been making music for so long that it puts them in that GOAT conversation. But I just never was really a huge fan of their music. Like, they have good songs. I respect their craft. I'm not going to say they're not talented. It's just, I feel like they're very, very overrated.
For me, Metallica growing up was my favorite band, but not like Enter Sandman kind of Metallica. I don't mind, but I like the Metallica from like the Injustice for All before, and then like the Death Magnetic to now. The thrash where like I'm getting 7-minute tracks with like 2 epic solos. It's a ballad. The song goes from like heavy to slow.
That's a lot though. I don't like that.
That's what I mean. You have to be into that.
Yeah, you have to be into that type of thing.
Because like for me,
I like music having that one like mood, and obviously they have like your bridges and shit.
You don't want to be up and down.
Yeah, I'm not on a roller coaster.
And me, it's like I like how they make it feel like it's a rock and roll orchestra. I like those kind of tracks where like it's going for crazy solo and all of a sudden slow right down into a whole new melody, and then it picks right back up.
Lil Wayne vibes.
Yo, fuck, Lil Wayne still got. You hear Trump might be partying Lil Wayne? I think tomorrow's Trump's last day. Is it tomorrow or today? Or is it tomorrow? Tuesday?
On Kamala's first day? 20th is his last day.
Well, he's got 100, they said, I don't know if it's true, 100 pardons lined up, and apparently Lil Wayne's one of them.
Oh, that's his party?
Well, there's 100. He said 100 people.
Bobby Shmurda's out in a month anyway, my nigga.
Well, who do you think he'll do? He'll do Wayne, I think. I think Wayne will get a pardon. Do you think he'll do, who's that other one, Kodak?
I'm wondering, did Wayne catch that gun charge before he endorsed Trump or not?
It was after he endorsed Trump, so it was definitely correlated. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was gonna say,
it was a very strategic Trump support.
It's just like, hey, I'm gonna support you because these gun charges in New York.
They
can be sticky.
But like,
I don't think rappers should get charged for guns like that. Like your life is dangerous. Like, why is it illegal for me to have a gun? Like,
hire security. You could hire professional security like Drake does.
Okay, so
no, but Wayne's got the money. Let's be real.
No, he doesn't. Wayne doesn't have money in comparison to Drake. Remember, Wayne was getting fucked out of his contract. I guarantee you, Drake has more money than Wayne. And Drake was a way bigger star than Wayne. Like, Wayne is like a hip hop star. Drake is an international star.
And Wayne's been putting in money for legal fees for a while.
Let me put this for clear aspect for people. People don't understand. Like, Drake is the biggest star probably to ever grace this planet. As far as impact goes,
they already basically clarified.
Bro, he's the first artist to do 50 billion streams.
Yeah. But like, let's be real.
He has more slaps than the Beatles.
If Spotify's around Michael Jackson days, I'm sure he puts up those numbers too. And same with like You know,
Hey, listen,
those GOAT category people.
all those GOAT artists of all time would definitely do numbers. But you need to understand that.
But no, I love Drake. I'm not disrespecting.
No. But I'm just saying,
what I
like,
mean by that.
those guys walked so Drake could fly. Is about basically what I'm saying.
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to go against like the founders of the music business, the first guys to go platinum a bunch of times because
Michael Jackson went dark skin to white so a light skin could succeed. You know?
But there weren't that many, like, you know what I mean? You have to be black. You can't really be light skinned. Like, think about how many light skinned superstars there really are than like Prince.
Chris Brown.
No, I'm talking about earlier eras though.
Oh, earlier?
Yeah.
Who would
Prince.
be the first light skin?
It's Prince, and that's it.
Yeah, and he's
all the big stars, Supremes, Diana Ross, they're all like
Ice-T.
brown skin, dark. Ice-T's barely a fucking star.
No, but he's early. I would say like.
Ice-T was barely a star as a rapper and barely a star as fucking
As an actor?
as an actor.
LL Cool J, is he light skinned?
Yeah,
Nah,
He was borderline.
he's light brown skin, but like some people consider him light skin, but like
I wouldn't.
He's not light
It
enough.
depends on the kind of light skin you're talking about.
not.
Are you talking about like light brown skin, or are you talking about high yellow
We're
light
talking
skin?
like Drake, I
Like
guess.
yellow.
Official light skin.
Yeah, so we're comparing to Drake, right?
No, but Drake is
Drake's a Jew.
He's biracial, so that's also different. Because you have light skins that are both parents are black, but they're just light.
Oh, that's what you're.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just the tone in general, like because there's levels to being black. There's obviously like your brown skin, your average tone black, then you have dark skin, and you have light skin. If you want to categorize it into
Is
three
Obama
categories.
light skin?
Obama would be considered like light skin, brown skin. Yeah, in comparison, he wouldn't be considered dark skin, and he's a little bit too light to be brown skin. So he's like he's on the cusp of brown skin, light skin.
But because he's so big, they just takes the black card because
He's
Kamala,
black at all.
It's the same Kamala thing.
Yeah.
She'll pull black. What is she like? Black, Indian, and white? She has white in her too. Kamala. Does she?
think so.
I don't want to like guess because I could be wrong. I don't know her that well, but I think she has like a.
You know her well at all?
I'm not gonna talk shit about any politicians anymore since my death threat. So
Yeah.
since I'm on the dark web with a bounty on my head, according to a 14-year-old troll.
15K is not money, fam.
I know 15K. That's what was disrespectful. Like
If
15K bounty. I'm not
you're
even
only worth 15K.
I'm not even worth a Toyota Yaris.
No, you're not.
What?
It's not even years money.
I know. I'm not. I'm like a used Camry.
Niggas ain't gonna put the Yaris on your head.
Yeah.
Put some yards on my name.
Man's like, I'm gonna make 3 months rent so I can take this guy out for 3 months rent.
Yeah, it's pretty pitiful, but it is what it is, you know. You're not Princess Diana or anything, so.
Yeah, Princess Diana. Yo, I realized. I didn't realize she wasn't actually like royal blood. She married him.
No, you didn't
Which
realize
explains why they
that's
killed
why
her.
they killed her, nigga. Okay.
I didn't know her that much. Like, how much do I really care about like
You're
rich
right, so
white
we assume a
people?
lot.
Ah, fuck. My grandma loves the British royalty. I'll tell you that much.
My mom does too. She lived in England, right?
Yeah,
so she
like,
loves
but
that
women
shit.
in general love like the Queen of England and all that shit. I don't know what
Women
it is
love
about
shit
that.
that just doesn't matter.
Yeah, like
Women love
like
anything
Bob-
that involves another bitch.
Yeah, like it's weird. Women have a fascination with like celebrities and like people in positions of power.
Like,
And it's
oh,
like
she's a queen.
it's unhealthy.
Inspiring. Like,
It's
I would've
unhealthy.
been-
I don't
could've been
know.
a
Yeah,
queen.
no, you couldn't have been there. I think we need to stop doing that. Like telling any woman that they can have a position of any woman. Like you need to realize some women are built for some shit that you're not. Like some
Yeah, like
person has
Kamala's built
OnlyFans.
for leadership, and there's a lot of women I know like that aren't.
Exactly. There's a lot of women that are built for OnlyFans, and a lot of bitches that like get it and then realize that they can't handle the societal pressures of having OnlyFans. Like, I just feel like we need to stop telling women like you can do or be anything. Like tell them that they can do and be things that they are actually good at and fit their personalities, more than to say you can just do anything.
Well, like I would say, I hate the idea of just you can do anything. Cause yeah, sure, but like, how about it's like let's all try to do something beneficial for the world, this society,
It's
whatever.
not that, but
may be.
people could none of us just give shit to women. Like even with guys and shit too, they'll tell guys like like oh like you should be a great like. People always told me when I was a kid like you'd be a great you'd be a great pastor. Because
Your dad was religious. And,
I grew up in the church and shit. Right? People always told me you'd be a great pastor, but
because you're outspoken.
I always had stage fright. So
But
the
they-
idea of speaking on a stage never like fit me right.
That being
so I was
real,
always
though-
like, yo, like this could not be a career path.
I do want to say that stage fright is something a lot of people could get over,
No,
especially you.
exactly,
You could definitely
exactly.
easily
I know
get over that.
for sure. But like
Because you're outgoing enough
But at
where
the point where I was still like, the young kid that like, when you do introductions would hide behind my dad, like it was weird. People would be like, oh, you'd be a great pastor. I'm like, you don't fucking know me at all. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. People always have these
You're
ideas for
just
people.
saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been second guessing if I want to be known as a real leader, because like especially today with today's as we're recording is Martin Luther King Day.
Is it actually?
Yeah, today's Martin Luther King Day.
I guess I should know that.
They're wearing the MLK jerseys tonight in the
You're not
NBA.
black.
No, I just saw a bunch of posts on it, so that's the only reason I knew.
No, well, you're supposed to know because if you're white guilt.
Yes.
And no, that's not what I know. I was more just worried about like I was looking at MLK. I'm like, this guy did so much, but like he ended up dead though. I'm like, do I really want to become a
But
political.
people hate on MLK for cheating on his wife. They're like, oh, like
He
he's-
cheated, eh?
Yeah, he cheated on his wife. I think with white women too. People make a big deal of it as if he didn't.
Was his wife black or white?
Of course, his wife was black. You couldn't be marrying white women all willy nilly in the '60s. It didn't work like
So he was
that.
just fucking whites on the side kind of thing.
Yeah, but people made a big deal like, oh my god, like he was the leader of the freedom rights movement, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, but he did his job. Who gives a fuck what he's doing? Like I say the same thing with our celebrities and actors that catch domestics or catch charges on the side. Like I don't pay you for this. I pay you to be good at sports. I pay you to be a good actor or a good rapper. I don't care what you do on the side.
Shout
It's
out
the same thing with Martin
Terrence
Luther
Davis.
King.
Shout out to
Yeah,
him,
super
Davis.
shout out Terrence Davis. I'm in this Raptor group, and people in that Raptor group are like, "Oh, he's a domestic abuser." I'm like, "You're telling me you've never smacked a phone out of a bitch's hands ever, from ages 0 to now? You guys are grown up that you've never smacked a phone out of a girl's hands.
Well, not even
What kind of
that.
healthy women have you been around that you haven't had to do that? That's what I want to know. Because like, I've definitely had to smack a bitch's phone across the room before. Why not?
Is that what happened? He smacked
Allegedly.
the phone across the room? That's
Allegedly, he smacked her phone out of her
I
hands.
smack my own phone across the room half the time. I don't know how many times I've tossed my own
I'm
phone.
just saying, like, especially in the position that he's in, like, if you're arguing with your bitch on some, like, you guys are wilding, whatever, and all of a sudden, because he's a raptor now, she pops off her phone trying to get, like, oh, like, see, you're like this when they've put you into this state, aka the whole Donald Sterling thing, like, oh, I'm with my wife in the privacy of my own home saying secrets, and you're recording me, so I lose the clippers. Like, I never liked that shit. Catch that man outright doing some racist shit in public, racist policies, give him the boot.
Let's
But
be
if
real,
we're
last
talking
sketch.
about, it's mad sketch. Your fucking wife recording you to make you lose your business.
No,
That
but
is
also what he
that's
was saying,
inappropriate.
he was just so mad. She took a picture with Magic. Yo, what's your code? It's like repping that mic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with what Donald Sterling was saying at all. I think what he was saying was disgusting. It was wrong, yes, but I don't agree with how he was
What
caught.
was he saying again? It was something about like he
It's like a
wasn't even.
slaver mentality. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, these niggers working for me type shit. Like, you know what I mean?
It wasn't even more of a. It wasn't even more the fact that like she was seeing other men. It was that it was like prominent black men in particular. But I honestly
Not in
didn't know-
comparison to him, but yes.
I didn't know. Well, when I remember when I can't remember exactly what it was, but when he first said it, I thought there was an element. I don't know if it was. I'm sure it was race. There was an element that was race, but I thought it was more because like he hated the Lakers. He's like, his wife was hitting it up with like a Laker goat, and he shares the same facilities. The Clippers were always trolled by the Lakers. I always wondered if like he hated Magic for more than just race reasons. You know what I mean? But like, he's
Well,
an
I thought
old
she was
rich
fucking
white
Magic.
guy,
Magic
so
has
it's hard to
AIDS
tell.
and shit. It's not like his bitch was fucking Magic.
We don't know. That's the thing. We really don't. Like, you wear a condom, they don't give a fuck these days.
At the end of the day, Magic
What's
can't,
AIDS anymore?
Magic can't spread AIDS anyway. It's part of his cocktail. He can fuck raw.
Well, yeah,
Magic
like,
just lives with AIDS.
he got that privilege,
Yeah.
the privilege cure.
Plus, AIDS there's a cure for AIDS. It got found by Ryerson. I think it was Ryerson University found the cure for AIDS. There's a cure. It just has to go through the fucking FDA testing and shit.
Really?
On top of the fact that you have PrEP, I say all the time, you can fuck a girl that has AIDS. Just take PrEP.
Does it cure COVID too? Imagine, same cure.
Can't cure a cold, my friend.
Yo, I still wonder, remember those Toronto billionaires that got assassinated a couple years back? Whatever happened with that?
It wasn't Toronto. It was New York.
No, it was Toronto. Those two billionaires in Toronto.
Wasn't that the
In the
guy and
house.
his wife
Yeah,
in their house?
it was in Toronto.
Oh, Toronto.
Yeah, they owned like a pharmaceutical, one of the biggest Canadian pharmaceutical companies. What they knew or why they got
Well,
assassinated,
you
I
were
don't
just
know.
talking about how you don't want to get suicide, and then you go down the same
Oh
fucking
my
path
God.
again.
Shit, good call.
Like, mind your own
Good
business,
call.
bro.
Mind my business.
Mind your fucking
Anyone out
business.
there that has any death threats on me, I apologize. I'm staying out of politics.
A real white guy.
Stay home, like Doug Ford said. We should abide by all health measures. We should not question government. Stay home, guys. I know that it's hard. And
Definitely question the government.
do you see actually the old Ontario health officer or whatever he was, the guy that ran it from like the 80s to like late 90s as the main health guy in Ontario? He spoke out against the lockdowns just today.
I saw that. Well,
In
that wasn't
defense.
today. Wasn't it? Well, a couple days ago, no?
Well, he
the guy,
wrote a
the guy
letter.
got fired.
No, an MP got fired.
Oh, okay.
A current MP of Doug Ford's, but then the former health minister came out today, wrote a letter to Doug Ford defending 5 key points. He said or something. There was like 5 key points he defended. So they say trust the professionals, and he's pretty much the guy who trained the current health minister, I think, or something like that. But he was like, yeah, he's the guy. He was the main guy from like 88 to like 97 or something like that. I think those years. The chief health officer. I don't even know what the proper name is, but they're against lockdowns. But I don't think we should listen to them. I think we should listen to Doug blindly, and we should not question it at
I
all.
was actually talking about this with my boy Sean earlier.
Sean Besser, we all talk about this shit. Too.
Yeah, because he's heavy against. The
He's
whole
also a
lockdown
small
thing.
business owner.
Yeah, exactly. There's that
So-
too. But we were talking about I think it was a mayor of some place had gone on vacation, and they'd given him
In
shit.
Alberta?
I think it might have been. I feel like it was somewhere in England.
Okay.
But the guy went on vacation, and people were mad. They're sending his family death
Yeah,
threats.
he's English. Yeah, that would make sense.
And his wife came out and was like, "Yo, like, our son committed suicide this year. Like, we haven't been doing anything. Like, I walked and I found my son's dead body. Like, allow us. We're going on vacation. Like, we followed all the COVID protocols.
I don't want to kill myself too.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
You get that last Ember? I see she's smoking. No, she's done.
And then
there's one more Ember that was
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
when you like hear about that shit, and people in the comment sections were like, "Oh, like, I've had family I haven't been able to see. Like, what makes you better than me?" And blah blah. And it's just like, buddy, like,
their family's dead because of this.
on top of this, it's like, yo, you are allowed to travel. You can go do these things. They just suggest not to. It's not illegal. It's just slightly frowned upon. No one's telling you can't go see your aunt that's dying of cancer. You can go stand outside the window and say hi. You can't touch them and hug them.
You could too, hypothetically, if you really want to. I
That's
don't
my
even think
whole
it's
point.
against the law.
That's
It's
my whole-
very
that's
frowned
my whole
upon.
point. Like, you're sitting there, anyone that's sitting there on quarantine talking about like, oh, I couldn't do things. I'm like,
chose
you just
not
chose
to,
not to.
yeah.
It's not like a wedding or a funeral where it's like those things happen and because of COVID restrictions you can't do them or go as deep in public. But like things like, oh, you have a sick family member, like you could go see that person. You can still travel. Like traveling, once again, like you can't go into a small business, God forsake, but you can travel to another country.
Did you see?
That's how these rules have been shaped up.
So I didn't see it surprisingly in our news, which you think this would be in our news for a global story, but I saw it in a comment that Italy, like it was like I don't know if it was the exact numbers right, but I think someone wrote like 50,000. But I searched, there was restaurants that did this. So thousands of restaurants in Italy simultaneously opened up in defiance to lockdown there.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's hard.
But like, why didn't we hear that here? Because they don't want like
they don't
Canadian
want,
businesses to be inspired.
No, but they don't want that kind of information to be spread. They don't want that kind of, like, you know what I mean? The news picks and chooses. You need to realize the news picks and chooses their stories. Like, for instance, like,
I don't think even they choose. I think it's almost like provided by.
no, they pick and choose by what kind of fear they want to spread. For
Yeah.
instance, when there's new politicians coming in, there's gonna be a vote of some sorts. Things like
What do you think of Jake Mead?
gun violence are always put more on the news.
No, but what do you think of Jake Mead? He gets put on.
A spotlight on a certain situation. That's just how it works. Because I know of shootings that happen all the time that never make the fucking news.
Oh, true. I know what you're saying now.
You know what I mean? They don't make the front page news, and the reason is because they just don't find it as interesting. There was that kid that got killed in Pickering a couple of years ago. They had no idea who did it. He got killed like behind one of those schools in Pickering. What the fuck is not St. Mary's, by Pine Ridge. Didn't even make the fucking news. It's a huge fucking deal out here to the community, to people that knew the kid and knew parties involved. It was a big deal, but it never got the news traction that it deserved in comparison to other stories. And you sit there wondering why it wasn't fucking.
Well,
election
even
time.
for example, in the town we live in, I know you guys know, like I'm friends with an officer, and like he's like said like he's been like, oh yeah, like last night we have he would like be like, yeah, there was footage we were looking at, like some guy in like the giant Tiger Plaza just shooting fire, like randomly shooting in the air, like going off. But like you don't hear gunshots went off in Ajax last night, but that shit just casually happens. And, like, unless you know a guy, just casually say that.
That's what I'm saying. Shit happens all the time. It just doesn't make the fucking news. And that's why I laugh when, you know, I'm in a lot of these Ajax groups with these fucking nosy ass white neighbor types. Yeah. And they're like, oh, Ajax is so bad, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because you're watching the fucking news to look and see what bad happens in Ajax. But there's no increase of violence or fuckery that wasn't happening here when I was a fucking child.
It's
when I was
probably
16.
less.
There's less. There's way less.
I was gonna say
That's why I laughed to it. I'm like, yo, there is way less violence. When I was in high school, you know how many kids have fucking guns? A lot.
Well, even from
a lot of kids had guns.
I don't know what your year, but my years from grade 9 to 12, grade 9 and 10 had way much more scraps after school and like people getting shaken and shit like that. By grade 12, I feel like it almost was non-existent. I'm sure it was still there to a degree.
And you would hear, that's the whole thing. Like being in grade 12, you'd still hear about the grade 9 and 10 drama to a certain extent. So there's no way it just stopped happening.
No, like at our school, the plaza that we went to for lunch.
Talking to the mic. And what school did you go to? By the way, I forgot. Notre Dame.
No,
he went to.
You don't have to. You can say without saying, because people already know what time it is. We talk about the school in Ajax. You know, because this was one of the worst schools in the fucking GTA at one point.
Bro,
in Ajax.
Jay Clark?
It was one of the top 10 worst schools.
Yeah.
Wild guy.
Crack.
But what's worse, Jay Clark or
But
Notre
anyways,
Dame?
bro, you legit couldn't drive a car through the plaza. You couldn't drive a car.
Because there's just bare niggas
The
standing there.
security guard that is there now.
The security guard was on fucking manners.
But anyway,
you couldn't say shit to anybody.
Exactly. But remember, there was no security guard to begin with. He got it because of us.
Yes. And then the security guard couldn't do shit. He started calling the police.
Yes.
Because we just be loitering there during lunch after school.
Bro.
Bare
you couldn't drive
niggas.
a car.
Bare niggas.
People had to part way and let you through.
Yeah.
So you had to have respect to get let through the people. They're like, oh, everyone knows this guy, and they let them through.
It's
Well,
not
people
even
are pretty
respect.
good.
knows this car.
Yeah.
Bro, these are just regular ass adults. Like,
True. So
Because there's businesses in the plaza.
it's
right?
like people just like, oh, there's a car
Pizza
coming.
Nova. There used to be that Caribbean spot there and that convenience store, which I'm pretty sure isn't there anymore.
School.
Yeah. The only one that survived that shit was the fucking
I used to do landscaping.
Pizza
in that plaza.
Nova and the Applecroft.
Yeah, in the summertime, I did landscaping there, and I remember like in those bushes there that go across like the sidewalk.
Yeah.
My boss used to always joke.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Better be careful. Might be drugs or like an illegal firearm in there. Like those high schoolers might be throwing some shit in that bush."
When we were there.
Because there was thorns too. Like it was hard to get into those bushes.
Yeah.
No, like seriously, like even if
That's
cops wanted to,
that's
you have to
literally the-
try.
Maybe.
There's bear fights around those bushes.
And it was like no, like even as a landscaper, there were bare thorns. Like if you threw some like narcotics in there, I doubt any cop has the effort to go through those thorns. Because if you gotta take them down, that's a whole ordeal. If you really want to get in there, if it was a gun that was like a murder charge, maybe. But like if you toss a
They don't
dime
need a
bag
murder
in
charge.
there,
Durham cops and cops in general can't have a hard on for guns because it's not the states. Like the states, guns or whatever, they don't care about drugs because the drugs destroy the community. The guns just kill the people in the community. They don't care about that. The drugs are a big deal in the states. Here, we don't care about drugs. We care about guns because guns aren't a part of our culture. So guns are seen as a huge no-no because it's so restrictive here.
Yes.
yeah.
It's one of the things. Like,
I wish we could have conceal and carry here, kind of sometimes
And I agree too. Like,
for safety.
I agree
So
too.
like
not even
hypothetically, if I
about
get
conceal
big, if I get
It's just the
death
fact
threats, I
of the
can
matter is
defend
that
myself.
you can't fucking defend yourself in your own home. That's my one problem.
I hate our self-defense.
How can
laws.
you not defend yourself in your own home? How can someone break into your house, but if you use a firearm, that's excessive force? That's absolute nonsense.
Yeah,
That
like
makes no sense.
you're catching that.
But breaking into someone's home, especially like a home invasion, is like you're gonna give someone 5-6 years in jail, but the person in the home can't defend themselves. They have to just let it happen and hope the cops come. Like, what? Doesn't make sense.
But back on the notion of political, what do you call it if you're like a target for political like opinion? Political like yeah. But there was a comedian in India that recently got arrested. I saw like a guy I know from India.
How funny can you really be a comedian in India?
It's not a funny. It's the market. You have like a third of the population, almost, I swear, of the world in that one country. Like,
I'm just saying, like, I never really I don't see Indian like jokes.
Russell Peters is fucking massive.
Russell Peters is from Canada.
No,
I'm
but
just
he
saying, like,
but he
Indian-
milks that Indian.
Yeah,
he
but,
goes
like,
there like he hosted the Indian.
Maybe
Vogue
like, I'm
Awards.
not from India, so I don't get what the things that they find funny would be different to what North American humor
The things
is.
that they're going to be
It's
talking
just-
about is not going to be shit. That
It's not gonna hit the same. Yeah,
They
like,
find Russell Peters as their goat because he's Indian descendant. But like he learned what was funny by living in Brampton and growing up in Brampton, but also by growing up by immigrant
but it's
Indian
only
parents.
even funny because
Yeah.
he's telling it in a very American-ass way.
That's why, but that's what I'm saying. But like that's what they find funny because he's the goat. Apparently in India, like he gets invited to host all the awards. Like he's
no
the
way.
guy. So like their funny is actually dictated. Funny enough,
Did you know
almost by
today
a
is,
Brampton man.
Today's Blue Monday too, by the way. If you didn't know
Yeah,
that.
the most depressing day
Most
of the
special day
year.
of the year.
Oh,
Fuck
yes,
that.
I
Why do
did.
they say
Yes,
that, though?
Yes, I did.
I think it's like midwinter. So
That's
it's supposed to be
fair,
super
though.
cold,
That's fair,
dark, early, like all that shit. Even though it is getting later and later every day, it seems now. Finally, we're on the upswing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Since
December
December 23rd.
21st was it?
Yeah, every day we're gaining a little bit more light.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. But I've been getting in my own head about that stupid
Who
like
died today?
dark web bounty. I've been fucking getting myself paranoid over nothing. Over a 14-year-old troll. This is why, guys, you can't read comments. Someone died today, but yeah, you guys don't read comments.
Yeah, no,
I'm paranoid yourself out.
some fucking Toronto you died today. Some IG team just posted about it. But I'm just sitting there like.
Rapper. Oh, I saw a guy. Jane died yesterday.
But
Got
to me,
shot.
once again, it's like, yo, you guys all love this gangster rap shit. You guys all love the lifestyle. You want to hang around dope boys and shit. Like, I don't want to hear this. Oh, stop the gun violence in Toronto shit. Like, shut the fuck up. The life is always great for you until something happens.
Everyone says stop the gun violence, but not enough people say stop the gun control.
I mean, yeah.
That's a legal gun owner perspective, because all these fucking illegal guns are fucking over the legal gun owner.
Which makes no sense.
Oh, it makes sense for a control perspective, hypothetically. But that being said, I'm not getting into it. Trudeau, I understand your gun control. I support you. Doug Ford, I support you. I don't want any political adversaries. So, but yeah, like hypothetically though, as a guy that may receive death threats for being a comedian, it would be nice to be able to defend myself. Is all I'm saying. I can understand why there's a big flood of comedians to Texas. which a couple comedians from Toronto I know, I'm not going to say their name to blast. Actually, fuck it. Oh, we're going to have one on the podcast soon. Ben Bankus and another comedian, Kyle Lucy, I know. They went to Austin. I think yesterday they flew out. They're trying to, because Chappelle and Rogan, Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan are doing like a residency out there. Because Austin's one of the only Texas is like one of the only free places anymore. And like,
I love that we can say like it's free. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
but also they're doing like testing. I think like on-site testing, like 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. You know if you have it. So like they're literally testing everyone and then loading up the fucking arena. So it's the perfect setup. But there's a big wave of comedians. I saw a picture from Donald. You guys know Donald Rawlings? He's like he's Dave Chappelle's boy. Another
the beard with the beard.
Yeah.
Actually, there, yeah.
He was on Dave Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
You'd recognize him. I saw him on Insta post like Austin has this new wave of all these comics moving there, and I saw like Elon Musk move Tesla there. Is moving Tesla there, so like they were at a
very
comedy
low
club.
income tax and shit.
It was
too.
like all these comedians with Chappelle, Rogan, Elon Musk is just chilling with them. I'm like, this is like smart to see like local comedians going back to what I was saying. They flew out to Austin to try to get some comedic spots. It's cool to see that like there's a whole new creative, artistic thing happening in a new city. Like there's people put restrictions everywhere, so like it's nice to see a city like Austin start to blossom and get all these like. And now they're getting like Elon Musk setting up shop out there. But like it tempts me to like, fuck, if I'm there and I'm getting death threats, I'm not worried. I got fucking conceal and carry you can have in Texas. You can go and make some money at a comedy show. Like, think about how many places in the earth can you have a legal gun carry to yourself right now, have events. Like, there's not many places in North America. Definitely not.
In general.
Yeah, in general. That's where it's like, fucking, like, where in Canada can we even do that right now? Alberta? Not even.
I'm pretty sure. No, there's no.
Definitely not.
There's no concealed carry.
But even events, like I don't think there's any events we can have in Canada right now.
Like our gun laws are super strict, bro. It's not comparable.
You see, Daddy Rico's always posting that white bitch that said that N-word.
The crazy bitch. Yeah.
Who is she?
I have no
I don't
idea.
know, bro.
I want this guy to get off that. I'm like, you're better than this, Rico.
Yeah, I was.
Even though your name's not
I love
Rico,
the
Rico,
fuckery,
you're
though.
better than this.
I love the fuckery though. That's part of like, you know what I mean, like why I love.
Yeah,
Rico
he's just
shit.
going all in on the
He
fuckery.
just like he just like gets under people's skins and shit. Which is,
Yeah.
you know, to me it's like
Listen,
that's the whole point. Like fam, like as an adult, like that's the best part about being an adult. Like you just can't let people get under your skin. That's how you show them that you won. Like it's not like when you were younger and like you know getting reactions was the whole thing and like making someone cry or whatever the case may be. Like bullying was popping and people appreciated it. And now it's just like if someone gets you to act out of character, it just makes you look bad all the time. Period. So don't get out of character for anybody. Like.
That goes back to my threats. I shouldn't be getting shook over some fucking 14-year-olds trolling me on TikTok.
But you are though.
That's the fucked up thing. Why? Why mentally am I getting tripped out by shit?
Because
fucking
you're a
white, bro.
civilian and
You're
you've
white.
never been introduced to a world where there were threats.
Like
against
life
your
on the
life.
line kind of thing.
You've been coddled your whole
I live my life on the line.
It's really real. It gets surreal. Sometimes it's like a gut punch.
It is. It's like you're like shit. Like I'm insignificant. I could get fucking like I don't want to die. Like I just got a nice ting.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
don't
fucking
give a fuck about
consistently
that.
feeling good. Like I ain't about dying out of here.
So it's not really. I don't really care about dying. I just want to die by somebody else's hands. That's just fucking whack to me. Like yeah, like you know, I don't really like dying. It's part of life. Like,
You're
you know,
not
it
afraid of
sucks.
death?
It's not that I'm not afraid of death. I have a weird thing about death. It's just for me. I just don't want to die by someone else's hands. I don't want someone else to have that like moral victory to be like, yeah, we took that guy's life. That's my only thing. Otherwise, I don't really give a fuck about dying. Like shit, it is what it is.
Yeah, like
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not afraid of
I
death,
feel like most people are like that though.
but I'm not. I'm
No, they're
not.
not. Because most people aren't thinking about their life actually ending by somebody else because that's just a part of like the lifestyle that we've lived that makes that a relatively normal thing. Whereas like the average person doesn't think that. Like maybe girls feel that way because they have this fear that a man's gonna kill them. But really, if a man wants to kill you, maybe you should just work on yourself.
But in MLK's perspective,
People don't want to kill you if you're not shitty.
Would you?
The fuck?
You're right.
Would
Don't
you?
be shitty.
Holy shit.
And back in the MLK's perspective, would you speak out about politics if you knew your life was on the line because of it? In honesty, because it made me really think about that today. I was like, do I really want to be a guy that loses my life?
If
over
I was
what
alive during that time period in the
No,
60s,
now, even now, if you knew right now,
Okay.
your life could be on the line for speaking out against
For
whatever
politics?
government restrictions.
Yo, bro.
No.
Would it be worth speaking out?
Fam,
No.
sometimes I'm sitting here
because
I'm high
MLK
as
died,
shit,
nothing
bro,
changed.
and I think about the shit that you say on social media, bro, and I'm like, yo, bro, because I think about things like back then, And I'm like, dog, like, if this was in the early whatever hundreds, like, you would die for
Yeah,
this.
they'll just take your
Yeah,
freedoms.
true.
Like, it's crazy. Like,
We're allowed to kind of do whatever the
I'm
fuck
running
we
my
want to.
mouth
There's
like a
bare-
privileged youth.
In
like,
comparison, we have bare
like,
freedom.
Like, you really would die.
We have
Like
bare
you were
freedom in
saying the
comparison to
other day.
older times, but even still, like, bro, we're supposed to have more freedom. Like, this is the whole thing. The idea that they're like, oh, well, we're giving you more freedoms is bullshit. We're supposed to be free. What the fuck? You're like, why are we letting people tell us what the fuck to do? At all, ever.
Because it's a
Like, there's moral things, yeah, that makes sense. Moral guidelines that most of us can live by and stand by. But certain things, it's like, yo, like, why do we care if some like homeless person is stealing food from
Honestly,
the
I don't
store?
feel like we're too
They're
far
homeless,
from
who
the
cares?
olden days, bro. And I think
No, we're
all
not.
of the old rules still apply.
Well,
We're
they do.
just watering them. They've just been watered down for just to make us feel it. But dog, it really is like back then, dog. It really
Well,
is.
how
like,
far long ago was it when MLK got assassinated for speaking up?
60s.
Like, that's not that long ago. There was
Yeah,
color
not
pictures.
at
Like,
all.
you used to see color pictures of
talking
this guy.
60 years, like
That's not a long
like
time. That's
a
nothing.
generation. Like,
But in the history of Earth, that's like not even a day.
yeah, not at all, bro. So like, I think like
That's why, like, I'm like, yo, if anyone's listening, that's a
just like you were saying,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Like the other day when you were talking about the president and shit, you were like, yo,
What are you
like,
saying
these
about
mother are. And you're like these. Oh, I thought he was fucking taking a video. And you're like, yo, back in the day,
Clean
like
asses.
they actually rolled around with fucking bodyguards because they were fucking people, right? They're
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they're
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
us with
yeah.
the tax rate. But
That's why they had bodyguards.
so, bro, like I really feel like
And look, down to the lower levels too, but like that's what I'm saying. Like now,
like these presidents, are
presidents
just newer kings and shit.
yeah,
Like,
but only presidents have that kind of security. Like senators only have like maybe like a 1-2 people. Like you know what I mean? Like before it was like if you were part of like royalty or anything, like any sort of line, like you had to have a bunch of guards.
Mhm.
Now it's just like only if you're really high ranking. But like, you can catch Doug Ford slipping if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
Like-
that's
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No,
Like
it's so
guys-
true.
it's not.
But that's-
Ford's on.
But there's a level of that gave me.
But he runs Ontario. But the whole fucking that's a massive land. In comparison, it's like some king that would run a kingdom. It's not even the same comparative size.
How many million
Just-
people in
Yeah.
Ontario? There's tens of millions.
13, 14 million people.
Yeah, over 10.
So that's what I'm saying.
14
Like
there's like over 2 million in Toronto. So yeah, I'd say over
you know,
10 in Toronto.
that's why it's just weird to me. I'm like, yo, like we need like I'm up. It sounds crazy to say this. It sounds like hella like kill all politicians type bullshit.
No,
It's
we
like,
don't
yo,
want that. No incitement to violence.
I'm just saying that like yo, you need to put some pressure on these niggas. They're not gonna respect us if they don't have the fear of their
No,
lives.
but you know what I
be on the
learned?
line. Like
you know what I
they know they can fuck us.
No, but you know what I was thinking back?
They literally steal money from the budgets. They literally sell business to their friends to make a change on the side, and we just sit there and fucking take it.
But I
And they're
was,
spending our money.
but I was, but no, I was realizing though
Some real prostitute,
the past
eh?
few days with my paranoia,
fuck?
the past few
Just some
days,
hoes.
the past few days with my paranoia, I was realizing with like you said, put pressure on them. The reason we don't is because we don't want them to be put the pressure back on us. Back to
But
like,
hold on,
I don't want to get
This
assassinated.
whole thing. There's no pressure they can put on us. If the people come together, there's nothing that a couple politicians can do. That's the whole point of the matter. Like, this is what I was laughing when I see like the anti-maskers go to these rallies, right? And they like are letting the cops. For instance, that one girl that was doing her thing, they pulled her off of the stage she was on and arrested her and took her away.
What girl was that?
Oh
yeah,
the
the
anti-mask
anti-mask.
case. And I sat there, I'm like, why are you guys letting the cops do this? Fight the cops. Fight them. They are illegally detaining someone for
Is
having a
that
protest.
illegal? Yeah, it was kind of like shit. I didn't care because she was white.
At the end of the day, like, once again, like, you know, I mean, it's not like she's fighting for something that's serious. It's an anti-mask thing. But I'm just saying, in general, why do you let the police abuse you or take leaders just from who are speaking up on for whatever issues you believe in? Why would you let them do that? Fight them.
Programming. I think
It's a program because people are programmed to believe that the police have this respect. You're taught from a kid. Like, people don't understand this. Having the police come into your elementary school is detrimental to your psyche as a person because they give you this idea of the police being on this high standing over civilians. We need to kill that. The police are no better than you and I because they are you and I.
No, it's 100%. They're human. And I got a very good
Same
taste of it
politicians.
when I was talking to my buddy about this whole thing this past couple days. So I haven't talked to him in a while. So we were just chit-chatting. And we were talking about, like, because my protest that was supposed to happen, I canceled it, obviously, but I drove by just to check in. There was, like, 10 cop cars lined up by law, but there's no one in the park. But they were all parked there, like, side by side. So I texted him. I was like, he doesn't have social, so he
But you
didn't
know
know.
what I do love though is that you actually made the cops have to go do something.
That's
we
why
should
I
just do
laughed.
this more often.
No. But it was like a pump fake. They bit the pump fake. Pretty
That's
much.
what I'm saying. We should do this all the time.
They bit a pump fake.
Every other couple of weeks, we should be like, yeah, we're gonna plan this protest, and then have the cops just show up for no reason.
That was exactly it. But no,
That's hilarious.
I texted my
Hilarious.
Fuck those guys.
I texted my buddy who's an officer. I'm not gonna give him a name,
yeah.
but he's not on social. So he didn't even know I was organizing anything. So I texted him. I was like, "Yo, what's with all these police at the Pickering Rec Center or Pickering City Hall?" And he's like, "I don't know. Some demonstration was planned, so they were just being prepared in case it happened." I was like, "LOL, it was mine." And he's like, "Oh, true, that's jokes." He's like, "I finished early," but he was asking, he's like, "What's it for?" I was like, "Small business protest to the lockdown." And then he was like, "Fuck, man." I was like, "If I was on social, I totally would have came and supported." And I was like, as a cop though, I was like,
But once again, that's the whole thing. Like, why do you have 10 cruisers showing up for that kind of protest?
"Well, it was nothing going on." He said that's why he got let off early.
No, but I'm just saying.
That's
in
why
general.
they were chilling there. They weren't outside. They were all just parked in the parking lot next to it.
I
It was
know,
because
but-
there was nothing happening.
I know, but I'm just saying in general, they sent the police there to do what?
Because they thought mans were because
No,
I'm coming
no,
to
no.
Doug Ford's post.
No. Okay, but here's the thing. What was gonna happen?
To do what?
What possibly could have happened that was so negative? People are sitting there chanting
They were
like,
gonna ticket the fuck out of whoever showed up.
but
Like,
once again, but what was the negative reaction of that happening? What did that do in society that was so bad? People just talking about their freedoms and saying we don't agree with this, and they're gonna police that.
well, you know
Just
what?
think about that mentality
No.
as human beings. Like,
So-
you are going there to protest. You don't believe in the lockdown. You think it's fucked up, and a bunch of like-minded people are gonna show up, and that's illegal. Why? What? Even
Well, no,
forget
no.
COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
What
The
about
reason-
that is illegal? Why should the police be there?
You're selling. You're not supposed to allowed to sell illegally. You can't just pop
So-
up and
so-
sell shit. Like,
Oh, you guys were selling
you
things?
need permission to sell it.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to
Oh.
be a market of
Okay,
small
okay,
businesses,
yeah,
all
yeah.
those small businesses. So you can't do that even without restrictions.
Okay, I mean
So
that's. but even
that's where they would hit us. They would go to each individual business and slap it with a massive fine.
Even looking at that as a
Without
whole,
permits or whatever it would be.
like so what?
That's how they would. I would imagine.
Even though that is an illegal,
Doesn't
part of
really hurt
selling,
anyone. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt anyone. Why is it illegal?
But-
the laws should only be things that hurt people. It genuinely hurt them. Like hurts the public, hurts the community. If it doesn't hurt the community, why is it illegal? And why are you letting the cops tell you it's illegal? And politicians. And why are you not standing up for yourself? That is my issue. That's what I'm like. We're all so programmed into thinking that that's just acceptable. The cops said no. They showed up in a force for no reason because it's not like fights are going on. It's not like you had a fucking thing and said, no, we're doing a fight club outside Pickering Town Center. Come through.
Yeah. We're not
People can
social
be hurt.
distancing. We're all making out. We're doing
People-
a kiss club.
Yeah, kiss club. You know what I mean? That's not. You know what I mean? People are just there being like, "Yo, we think what you're doing to small businesses is fucked up," and the cops are like, "Oh, we have to come deep." To shut this
No.
down.
But what I wanted to get.
You gotta
to my
stop
point,
this shit.
I was talking to him as one-on-one with a
What?
friend. I was asking him. I was like, because he was like, "Oh, I would have came out to support if I wasn't working," and he's an officer. And I asked him about COVID. I was like, "So, like, what do you think about like everything going on as like an officer?" And he was like, "I actually spoke to my sergeant, and said I don't want to enforce. I'm not enforcing this. Just so you know, I don't believe in this." And the sergeant respected that, right? But like, I don't want to say what happened, but he didn't actually end up getting put on the unit. But because he was anti-COVID and he refused to enforce like these COVID tickets, his actually sergeant wanted him to put him on to the COVID response team, because knowing that he's just going to give bare warnings. You know what I mean? He refuses to.
You may have.
give
That's
orders.
the thing. You may have police that are.
But
doing
that's
that.
the problem
At the end of the day, you still have the guys that show up to Adamson barbecue in force.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Is that we still have cops that are willing to really.
Well, no, my problem is, he says that same thing. He's like, there's some that are just more than happy to go, once you give them that power of ticketing, they're more than happy to jump on it. But he was saying, what I was thinking, he wasn't saying it, but what I was thinking, I was like, it sucks, because I was like, I was asking him, he's like, some agree with me, he's like, others are the opposite, like humans, they're humans like anyone.
Yeah.
But I was saying, it sucks that cops, in any regard, can't individually have voices. They almost have to abide by whatever that narrative is, because a lot of them don't agree with the same shit.
Because it's a fucking gang. If you
It's
do
a
It is a gang.
gang.
It's
What
a gang
says,
mentality.
yes. It's 'cause it's a
That's
gang.
why.
And it's too bad, because you're like, fuck, there's so many cops, I guarantee you, like, even at the anti-lockdown,
A lot of gangsters.
I guarantee you a lot of those cops stand there, they're there for paid duty, probably, like, it's OT, they're like, fuck, how bad can it really get? We'll go to this anti-lockdown protest.
That's what I'm saying. All that shit. It's
You know what I mean? And a lot of them might not even believe it. But even my buddy, he was like, I was joking. I was like, imagine I actually went through with it and like he had to arrest me. He's like, fuck. He's like, I would have pretended to. It's like, no way I would have actually like for that shit. It's just a warning. Like, but the problem is, then there's the next guy. If you don't like not everyone's like that guy. Most of the guys are probably gonna slap you with a fine. But that's what the bylaw's gonna do. The cop's not gonna hit you with a fine. The cop's gonna make sure everything's peaceful. And then the bylaw fucking dickhead slips in because it's his job 100% to just slap you with some ridiculous fine.
My God, dickhead.
That's what it is. It's the bylaw most of the time that gives you the tickets. It's not the police.
Yeah.
Bisexual.
They are officers in a way, but they're not like the police aren't going out going social distancing fines.
The bylaw officers in Ajax are the biggest clowns. Like actual.
Why do you say that? You have a
'cause they're
story
just-
about
I have
them?
so many different stories of the Ajax bylaws. They're
Beer
pussies.
tickets on my goddamn.
They'll give people.
On your
tickets
driveway, DB?
because his lip will hang over
Why?
on the street or some
Yeah,
shit, or
bro.
like you know what I mean.
I've gotten it for like parking on the street in winter, like past November.
Yeah, I got it for parking
So
on
I
my
have a
street
two-piece
too.
driveway, and I'm parking at a two-piece driveway, and I'm parking at the bottom of
Yeah.
the driveway. And bro, these motherfuckers, bro, I got 4 tickets within 5 weeks.
You can't park at the end of that?
There's not really enough space for a car.
Not if your
Oh,
any
really?
of your bumpers.
And every bumper will either hang over the
so
sidewalk or it's gonna hang over the fucking street a little bit. But either way, it's not in the street. As if
Yeah.
like if you're driving down the street, you shouldn't be driving that close to the fucking curb anyway.
So that's fair. That's why we got
They're
away with it because if we
bastard.
parked the truck horizontally, like like the suburb, that you can only park like parallel park into it, the end of the driveway,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
block all the cars in.
Yeah.
They wouldn't ticket us if we did that,
Yeah,
and that makes sense. But if I parked in frontwards and had the
Yeah.
ass end sticking
Yeah,
out, they
no,
might hit you.
Bro, it's not even.
Isn't that
it's
a neighbor
not-
complaining though?
I honestly think it is.
Because I think a neighbor needs to usually call in for something
I
like that.
really do think it is. Yeah.
Because when we ever got parking on the street, I always assumed it was just probably a neighbor annoyed. Like, these guys always fucking parking on the street.
These guys are bastards, though. Don't listen to these pussies.
But the thing is, those bylaw, like, they need to give those tickets to justify their salary. At the end of the day, you're getting hired to give out tickets.
yeah.
You need to hit an X amount. That's the way I would look at it. I'm like, fuck, I get paid, I don't know how many they get paid. Let's say 85K a year. I need to give 85K in tickets, or else they're not going to justify fucking them making this a job, if not more. Right?
It's actually funny. I was looking at the whole guidelines of like like each person has to be in their home, and you can't like, for instance, if all 3 of us were to be in a car,
This is illegal right now.
I think it is technically illegal.
No, podcasts are essential. We're news.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know in other states, but like we're technically news. Why aren't we? We're independent news. We talk about like modern events.
As a small business,
We also get tested. I get tested once a week. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
you test these nuts.
Yeah, Deb
We'll use
tested
that for
nuts.
the
I don't
clip.
have any STDs.
We'll use that for the clip. Test these nuts.
I don't have STDs. I have tested these nuts. I pissed in that fucking
Buddy,
thing
you
once.
never get tested. You get the girls you're sleeping with to get tested. That's how you do
That's a
it.
test. That's what I do for COVID too. It's true. I think my girl had COVID though.
She's Asian, right?
Yeah, well, not even that. Not even that. She lost her taste and smell. I think that's what gave it away for me.
I got sick the other weekend. I lost my taste and smell. I'm pretty sure we still shot a pod.
So you didn't tell us though, you
This
bastard.
guy's not a son. This guy's
I
essential.
had a fucking cold, for Christ's sakes. Like, I didn't have a fever. I just had a cold. I lost my taste and smell, which is a part of having a cold. You can't taste or smell shit. It sucks.
Facts though.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I first heard about that, I'm like, oh my god, you taste. That's so rare. That's not rare. That's normal for like any and every
Nah,
sickness.
you had the vid still.
But these new restrictions actually though.
Which was the part I was gonna say. We couldn't be in a car together, but if we were all riding the bus, it'd be fine.
Or work.
Which I thought was funny. We'd be sitting side by side on the bus.
Yes.
But because we're all in the same car, they'd be like, no!
No.
3 different households, 6 bills for you, 6 bills for you.
Yeah.
Well, today I was working. I'm not gonna say where I work, but like, there was more than 10 people in a room at points. They were all like wearing masks, yes, but like,
That's the whole
I'm
thing
sure
too,
if one
like-
of them had COVID, it was a chance that a lot of them would have caught it.
No, it's not. Like, that's I told you
I know,
a million
realistically
times
not.
over. Joe Budden shot a podcast in proximity to 3 other members, touching and joking around with them, and in a room with other people, like, because they have a big production team. No one got COVID. Only he had COVID.
But even still, what I was gonna say before about the COVID restrictions
It's hit
is
and
the
fucking miss.
story in Montreal about they shut down the homeless shelter early and kicked this guy out.
Oh, yeah, the guy ended
and
up
this guy
dying?
died in front of the doors of
Perfect.
the homeless shelter they shut down.
Yeah.
For his own safety, he couldn't go sleep in the warmth of this shelter because of COVID, yet he dies. And they're going to list that as COVID related. I don't know if they are officially, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that is what it is.
You don't feel bad about I don't feel that bad about a homeless guy dying. Let's be real. A buck tea went down. I heard. I almost commented this.
Are all homeless people
Yo.
buck teas?
Most of them, yeah.
Not all of them are crazy.
Oh, I missed it.
This is a mental illness thing for a lot of them.
So
Bucksies.
someone commented that he died in like a porta potty across from the doors from this like shelter, and someone commented like, I wonder what he was thinking while he was freezing to death, and all I was thinking was, I almost commented, I didn't. I was like, probably when he's gonna get cracked next or some bullshit like that. You know, like he's probably not worried about freezing to death at the time. He's probably numb to the head. He's probably like, fuck, how am I gonna get my next fix? I didn't comment it though because I was like, you know what, someone died. But yo, the anti-lockdown narrative is people are finally joining it. You're starting to see like actual accounts post anti-lockdown stuff. It's starting to become more mainstream to be against this, which we've been on it from March. I think we've been on it from day one saying this is dumb. Yeah, haven't we been? Yeah, I think we have.
There's never been a point of this where we were like pro-lockdown, bro.
We were like maybe 2 weeks at most. And even still, we didn't
There was
really
never
respect
any
it.
point during this entire COVID thing where we have ever expressed any sort of belief in the government, what they were doing, or how they were handling this at all. Not once.
No.
Yeah, that's true. We were just pissed that they shut down our studio at Talk Show.
Yeah.
We were like, fuck, we have to do this, fuck it, we have to figure this out like independently, which was actually good. It forced us to.
Forced us to like grow.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely like, I feel like we're definitely in a better place
And
now.
in all aspects of life for everyone, I think that's something that I think everyone took from being forced house arrest was, I think everybody either committed suicide and gave in, overdosed, or I think people have.
Those numbers are high as fuck too, as we know.
Suicide numbers?
So
Do you think?
mental health
Have you actually looked at the numbers though? Are they? I'm sure they're up higher. They have to be. But like, did you actually like? I haven't seen like, or they're just not showing them. But if they showed, imagine if the news showed suicide numbers every day. They posted suicide numbers every day. Like, how much more fear? Like they did COVID. Like you go on like you turn on the radio, everyone's like 38,000 or 3,800 new cases today. It's always updating. Like imagine they just updated suicide deaths every day. Like 28 suicide deaths today. Like
I would love that.
Yeah, they should still.
They should.
They definitely should.
it would make people's like opinions change a lot more. Like holy fuck, like, maybe we should care about each other like
Yeah.
a touch more here. But that being said, like I respect Doug Ford's decision. I'm not questioning you whatsoever. We need to do what we need to do. If we need to go to isolation camps, I think that's probably for the best.
Isolation.
I think that.
It just sounds funny putting it that way, like, you know what I mean? Like, around some Jew shit, like, yeah.
Well, did you see that Jew get
What
chased
would
down
they
by the
do?
Montreal police yesterday?
It's funny
Or
because
today?
they wouldn't even. It'd have like a native name because we're in Canada. It wouldn't be like Auschwitz. It'd be something like, you know, like
Re-education.
Little Leaf Prison. Like,
Literally
Blackwater, dog.
No, they'd probably like name it like something like racially like sensitive, like Viola camp. Viola, they just put some
black
like
girl on the bill and shit.
they put some civil person in front of it and make it like, don't worry guys, we put like a popular figure. Yeah. No, there's what's it called? I don't like. There was that Jewish guy that got arrested for praying. You see that today in Montreal? This Jewish guy apparently was praying in front of his car or something, and the Montreal police were like chasing him down. Which I don't believe 100% of the video because I'm watching this off like, I don't want to shout out any of these specific Instagram accounts, but you know these like these accounts in the six that seem to be media accounts.
Some of these
And I don't want to talk shit to them because a lot of them are like good people, I'm sure, and they post my shit.
There are a lot of bad ones.
But they post my shit too, so it's like, as much misinformation they accidentally help push, they also post meatheads like me, so I can't hate them. But there was this Jewish man that was getting arrested for praying, as they claimed, which I don't know how true that is. Do you think anything's going bad with the Biden inauguration? Is it this week? I think that's this week.
We'll wait and see.
Do you think there's actually like going to be like the Trumpers, not, I hate saying Trumpers, let's say the rednecks
Trumpets?
raiding? Because I'm sure some of them voted Libertarian, let's be real. But do you actually think there's going to be raids going on in this Biden inauguration?
You see this shit? Calgary mayor is putting sand and gravel on outdoor rinks.
Dog, they did that in Vaughan. You didn't see that video in Vaughan? In the outing skate, so like in Toronto, you're allowed to skate on the outdoor rinks. In all the surrounding cities around Vaughan, they have it allowed. But for some reason, Vaughan's municipal government, I guess, decided that like no outdoor skating.
So
So
Vaughan
in Vaughan, they're throwing salt.
Vaughan's already been very like they've been that.
Yeah, but they're throwing
Yeah,
salt
that's
on
okay.
Vaughan, but Calgary's taken off. But in that regard, the one you're watching, I think that's a storm pond, which is like a storm lake, which it has, it's not the safest ice, and I think a kid went through it recently. So I don't know if that's because of COVID as much, because I've heard them posting that, but I also know that those ponds aren't the safest. Like, read the comments. If some of them are talking about, like, their storm pond,
The one person said it's a fucking storm pond. You ain't supposed to be on that shit anyway.
yeah, it's not safe ice. And so, like, I think it's a combination of there's COVID and it's not safe ice. Because
Well, I
there's
mean,
so much
those-
water to
These
go
are
to
the ones in
guys.
their neighborhoods, right? People are playing on these all the time.
Like it's like the Costco one there.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of these random ones.
Costco one's not bad
Wasn't
though.
after Jay Clark, right? There's that one. There's a bunch of them. Like,
Well,
you have
no.
to know which ones to go to.
Costco one's not bad because it's
Yeah,
like
the
2
Costco
feet
one
deep.
too, yeah.
It's like 2 feet deep. The
Is
whole
it
way
really?
through. It's not
Goddamn,
deep.
I
It's
had
just
no idea.
it's just drainage there.
True.
So it's like if you fall through at 3 feet, most is like maybe.
Bro, I always look at that shit and thought it was deep, bro.
So where you'd go if you were in like here, you go by the lake, you know, like Rotary Park, not the main lake, but like you know, like the offlets where it's all like marsh in the summertime.
Yeah.
You always see people skating out any of those spots because it's kind of off.
Yeah.
You know where we shot the Sanidus video at the in Port Whitby in the farm there?
Yeah.
There's a pond there. They're just like those kind of ponds are good.
True.
Any golf course around here is the golf courses. Riverside, any golf course because they always got ponds and it's still water, right? There's no current on those ponds. That's why they're safer. You're gonna get the thick ice. Some of those ponds, like in Calgary, I'm sure a part of it had to do with COVID, but that's like an example of the misinformation we're talking about.
Yeah.
People are like Calgary's throwing fucking salt on these ponds that a kid went through, I think, and died the other year. I don't know when it was. I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck about Calgary? I saw the kids get arrested from the cops though. What's that? Another black guy getting arrested?
No, it's actually the pit crew. But I don't understand what this race is. I didn't know races were legal.
How did I think a pit crew was a black guy getting arrested? I saw a knee down on something. I thought it was George Floyd-esque. My bad.
Oh, you're terrible.
My bad.
It's fair. Those are times you live in, you know? You never know when the knee could be
I'm
on someone's neck.
programmed. There's a level to me. I'm programmed for sure. You see shit every day. Fucking what
Jose
else?
Canseco wants to fight a Barstool intern and also Logan Paul after. I think Jose Canseco's gonna get fucked up. Like, buddy, you're a baseball player and you're retired. Like, how can you think you're gonna fight young men?
Steroids. He's the one that. Do you know he's the one that kind of like exposed
Steroid era.
everyone?
Yeah. He's a rat.
I think he's a truther. You
He's a
think he's
rat.
a rat? Why do you say that?
If you're exposing other people without their permission, you're a rat.
What do you do?
Well, no, he's the guy. He was on steroids. He came out
He
that
blew
he
the
did
whistle.
them, but
He
he
was
was
gonna say
saying he's like, guys, like everyone's doing it. This is the reality of the MLB. You guys need to know. He was the guy that came out and was like, yo,
So you're a whistleblower. You're
he's
a
like,
fucking
I'm
rat.
doing it. Everyone's doing it. You could say he's a rat, but like, I saw actually a good documentary. It's on Netflix called The Icarus. It's by someone Frank Vogel. I think the guy's name, the movie maker. But he investigated the Russian anti-doping. Or like how the biography started, he was doing a bike race. He was doing it 100% sober, right? And then he was doing it the next year doped up while passing tests. So like as Lance Armstrong would have did. And that's how it originally started. So to get someone to agree to it, he ended up getting the guy that ran the Russian.
The whole team was doped.
Yeah,
Armstrong.
everyone was doing it. Like the whole race, pretty much. But so like to get someone to do it for the biography for the movie, he ended up convincing. He got the guy that ran Russia's anti-doping agency. The guy's like, yeah, I can help you beat the system for sure. So like throughout the biography, it started as like this race project, and it ended up becoming what exposed Russia. You know how they got exposed a few years back? The movie's 2018 with the anti-doping, and they got like.
Yeah.
So this movie ended up being more exposed because this guy only trusts his movie maker because he built a relationship with them. And the documentary is really interesting because it starts off as like a simple project. This guy's like, I'm gonna race and I'm gonna dope, and then like we're gonna see the comparison. And then he ended up exposing the whole what Russia was doing. This guy came to America, LA for asylum, like fucking Edward Snowden style vibes. But it was crazy, and he was worried for his life from Putin, that's a reason to actually worry for your life. I'm being an idiot because I make fucking dumb videos on the internet and I'm worried someone's gonna kill me. This guy exposed fucking Putin and Russia and their doping scandal. That's a reason that actually guy has to worry for his life. But it was really interesting to see because number one, this guy in the race, he did better sober. As 100% clean, not doping at all. He ended up actually placing and timing better, which was crazy to see. But he said he
got lazy because he was doping.
No, he said he felt better though, like when he was doping. Like he felt like way better and his numbers was up.
Maybe he skipped a couple practices.
No, one of the days, because it was a Tour de France style race, so it's 6 days, and like one of the days his bike broke and malfunctioned, and that kind of pushed him back a bunch. So I think it was one of those things, like like other things outside, but it also showed that doping, as much as it does enhance you, like Lance Armstrong won those races fair and square. Like he was the best racer out there, with doping or not. There's a level that like that guy was the best out there regardless. But it also showed that this guy exposed the whole system, and what it is to be like a political outspoken person, if to expose, like to become a fucking political target. Like if you really want to expose something, you're gonna have to move to a different country, Edward Snowden style. Which brings me back to Trump's pardons. Do you think Trump's gonna be pardoning Edward Snowden?
No.
You don't think he has the balls to do it?
I just don't think he cares to.
You don't?
Trump's gonna pardon his friends.
He's gonna go Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
His friends?
Yeah.
he fucks
White
with.
collar crime.
Yeah, definitely.
Some fraud guys. Yo, Tiger King would be jokes.
I can see Tiger King before I see fucking.
Do you what's it called? Did you hear that about Biden might get impeached within his first week?
I heard about
Within
that.
his first week?
The paperwork's ready apparently.
Oh my god.
These Republican niggas ain't playing no games.
But
Like,
for
you guys
what?
took Trump?
Do you think
Nah,
what are they gonna impeach Biden for?
I can't remember what it is, but it doesn't matter. It'd be hilarious if Biden got
Election
impeached.
fraud.
It
maybe?
would
At the end
be
of the day,
hilarious.
Trump didn't get impeached. Like, Trump didn't get successfully impeached once.
It would be hilarious.
This guy's a dodger, just like the draft. This guy dodges.
You're smart.
Dip, dodge, duck, dive.
And dodge.
And Jack got robbed by sin,
What else happened? Raptors have been slowly picking it up.
I guess. Which means it's also I gotta go home for this game soon. But yeah.
What time's the game at? 7:30. What time is it?
6:45-ish.
Another
That's
5
our pod
minutes.
anyway. Let's shut the fuck up and get out of here.
Follow me, CringeKev.
At the Jack's Veteran.
Follow Just Add Woods.
At Goldie_Glock.
Level Up. DB Visuals. DB
Cedar
underscore
Smoke Carp.
Are they still working on your shit right
I'm
now?
gonna be watching that in March.
Actually?
Yeah, I got my Versace towels on the way from Italy.
From who? Ian?
Oh, Ethan.
Ethan, I mean, no, Ian. Fuck.
Who the fuck's Ian?
I know.
Who the fuck's that guy?
The guy who made the sign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the
Ian.
sign
It's another white guy.
Ian? Shout out Ian? Shout out white people. You guys are doing good. Shout out.
I mean, you can do better, but yeah.
Not all white people.
Not, definitely not all white people. A lot of you guys are great. A lot of you, not that great.
Shout out Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Congratulations on winning. I respect you a lot. Don't kill me.
Neither. Fuck them. Fuck all politicians.
Shout out the Clintons. I love y'all.
Fuck the Clintons.
I love you, China. I love you, China. Don't fuck with me.
See that? I will speak on China. I know.
That's you, y'all.
Niggas in the NBA don't speak on China. There's no way I'm gonna do it.
I know. That's right. That's where I think I might have fucked up. The China talk.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out China. You guys are doing it big. Communism
Yeah.
might be working. We might have to.
Yeah, that flu you guys started, top notch.
Yo.
3 variants.
Yeah, we might be. You guys are on it.
Before we end, they found that there might be proof that they did this intentionally, a biological weapon.
Oh yes, I saw
Is
that.
that
saw
a
that.
story or is that real though? I
Yeah.
saw it.
It was like the fucking New York Times that posted it.
Yeah, but they also posted about Hunter Biden's laptop, and we all ignored that.
No, New York Post people ignore. New York Times is a fucking credible paper.
Oh, it's the opposite of New York Post.
The New York Post is our Toronto Sun.
Yo, Toronto Sun's been anti-lockdown though. I gotta
The
give
New
you
York-
credit though.
Toronto Sun's a conservative paper, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someone's gonna be
So-
anti-lockdown. At
Republicans.
least someone's taking the stance.
It
We
is
got-
what it is.
They talk shit about Houdini, but they're anti-lockdown. It's a bittersweet thing.
Who made Houdini disappear?
That was such a fucking
Fucking idiots.
distasteful Toronto Sun.
Fucking morons.
You guys are very. Before we go, I want to shout out Brandon Gonez. Is it Gonez? Gonez from CP24. He started his own show. He
Oh,
went
Brandon
independent.
Gones.
Gones, is that how you
Oh,
say
yeah.
it?
I was Gomez at first. It's Gones.
Gones. It might be.
Well,
I might be
it's
wrong.
a
I'm
very
sorry.
strange name for a black guy. It throws me off.
I always just assumed like the Gonez when I see like that.
Might be Gomez. I don't want
It
to.
could be Gones. Either way, shout out that guy doing it a big independent.
Yeah, you know, it's sad to see him leave off CP24, but in the same breath, like,
Oh, it's that
Kinda
nigga.
dude, yeah.
The cool nigga.
Yeah.
He created his own independent YouTube
Yeah.
show. He left.
Yeah.
But
Of
his
course
first
he would.
his first
That man had way
episode.
too much damn character,
I know, right?
Bro. He
His-
was actually. Well, I guess people turn into robots when they're.
Well, I think he probably wanted an independent voice, but his first episode he had Jag Meat, which I wanted to say earlier. Like, why does everyone love Jag Meat so much? He's a chill guy, but like,
It's because he's fucking brown.
Yeah.
Bro.
Do
do you think it's because he's brown?
Yeah.
That's what
He's
it
a
is?
brown politician, and he
His
seems
His policy's not that great.
like he's not.
No.
He's
Not
not.
that great.
He's a fucking liberal still. NDP is
Super liberal.
NDP is still somewhat left.
Well, super left. They're like more left than. Like,
No, they're supposed to be more middle left. Liberal is left. NDP is middle left,
Yeah.
but they're not really middle left. They are left.
They're pretty left.
We just need I need like a less conservative. That's what I really need. Just like a borderline. That's where I really sit.
No, we need those guys.
I need y'all to get a little.
No,
less
we need
racist.
those like couple MPs
More
MPPs
racist.
that actually like are about freedom, like legit freedom. We need those people that are like, yeah, let people live. We have land of the free in our fucking song.
No, that's America.
No,
The
True
land
north, strong
of
and
the free.
No, but true north, strong and
That's
free.
not the lyric though. You said the land of the
Oh,
free.
my
Land of
bad.
the free.
My bad.
Now
But we
we're
have true north, strong. We
strong
still
and
have free in
What
the
is wrong with
song.
This guy, bro, you never.
I'm off on the fucking.
Really?
I'm off on the fucking Casillero Diablo. I know. Shout out Raptors. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Shout out
peace.
MLK. Shout out MLK.
Anime girl piece.
This isn't white power, by the way. This
It is
isn't
definitely
AOK.
white power.
Is that a white power song?
Yeah,
Fuck.
it is.
My bad. There's a thumbs up to end it.
Man,
Love y'all.